Hello ladies and gentlemen, Brian Manchester. Today brings me to Coudersport, Pennsylvania in Potter County. Behind me is the Magistrate's office in Coudersport. The hearing I had today was a preliminary hearing for possession of a small amount of marijuana. So I'd like to educate you on the charge of possession of a small amount of marijuana. Pennsylvania considers any amount of marijuana up to 30 grams to be considered a small amount of marijuana. It's a misdemeanor offense, but it's a misdemeanor offense with a maximum punishment of 30 days. That doesn't mean if you're convicted you're going to get 30 days. That's just the maximum. In fact, you have to have a high prior record score, which means in the past you've been convicted of other crimes and you get points to get jail, generally speaking, in a possession of a small amount of marijuana case. If you're a first-time offender, you're looking at probation if convicted. And in Pennsylvania, you do not lose your license anymore if convicted on that. But my friend, we don't like convictions. In Pennsylvania, there are several different types of diversionary programs. Different counties offer them. Some counties don't offer them. Some counties do things that don't result in having to go to the main courthouse. One of the possibilities is ARD for small amount. And in Pennsylvania, you can get an ARD for a non-DUI charge. In fact, I have a video on ARDs for non-DUI offenses, and you should check that out. There's also a thing called probation without verdict, which initially requires you to plead guilty, but it's a conditional guilty plea. If you it's called probation without verdict again. If you get that program, you plead guilty, you behave, you pay your court costs, the charges are dismissed, and then you can have your record expunged. But unlike ARD, you have to initially plead guilty to get on the program. So in the future, if while you're on that program, if you do something wrong and violate the terms, you don't have the option to go back to court to start all over again like an ARD. You're automatic guilty, and then the record is permanent. Some counties have online programs. If you take it, you get a certificate showing that you've completed that program. Then they dismiss the charge, and you don't have to go to the Court of Common Pleas. It's something done between a preliminary hearing and your first pretrial conference, or call the list, or whatever your county that you get that charge in that does that program calls their first court appearances. And you also have the option to go to trial, and one of the best defenses, the possession of a small amount of marijuana, is to challenge the chemistry test results. If they're going to push a small amount of marijuana, they do not give you a diversionary program, you have really no downside if that's your only charge to go into trial. They're going to have to bring on a chemist. You can get the data. You can look at how they tested it. Anymore, there's issues with the farm bill being passed by the federal government, so they have to show that this green leafy substance they're calling marijuana is not hemp. That's not easy for them to do. There's no standardized methodology for testing, and so that's another issue to challenge. So ladies and gentlemen, when facing possession of a small amount of marijuana charge, always have an attorney to look at all the options, explore them, and maybe one of the best things to do is to get a diversionary program so you're not facing the jeopardy of trial. But if you have to go to trial, they should know how to attack those test results. Thank you for watching this video. This is Brian Manchester. Look forward to speaking to you soon.